Hey guys, welcome to the Upside of Grief. My name is Story and I am your host.
And my name is Erika, and I'm your co-host.
And today we are going to be doing one of our segments that we're going to have on the podcast here. It is called QGD'S. What are QGD'S, Erika?
QGD's Story are questionable grief decisions. And Story is actually going to share one of hers. Questionable grief decisions. So I don't have one in my story necessarily, not like I've heard shared before, but they're basically decisions that you make that are kind of questionable, where like maybe you may not feel like you're in your quote unquote right mind, or you are doing something that maybe people are telling you shouldn't do, or just any of those kind of like derailing type of decisions. And Story is actually going to share one of hers because hers is a big part of her story.
It's great. It's a whole ass thing. Yeah, and I mean, like how you said, you're not in your right mind, right? Like when I made my questionable grief decision, mind you, I have a few.
Oh, a few.
But I'm just going to share like
Okay.
the biggest one. The most questionable one that I
The
made.
most questionable.
The most questionable. Okay, so I'm just going to dive right in.
Dive right in. We want to hear it.
Okay, so when it was about 4 months after my husband passed and I was in a constant state of disassociation and pretty much like not living inside of my own body is how I look at it. I thought that the best thing for me at that time was that I needed a baby.
A baby?
A baby.
Like to birth a human and take care of them?
Yeah, when you put it like that. Yes, very much so. And I was in no place to be doing that. I didn't have a job. I was in school, but I had no source of income. I have no family here. But in my head, I was like, I'll figure it out. I always figure it out.
So who is the lucky donor?
So it was my friend. Questionable friend. But still my friend.
Yeah.
We're all human. Anyways, I went over to his house and we were hanging out. And I said, I need to talk to you about something. I want to ask you something. And he was like, okay, what's up? And I said, I think we should go under the covers. And he's like, oh, this is serious. And I was like, yeah. So we get under the covers and he's like, what's up? And I said, I feel like you know what I'm going to ask you. And he straight up looked at me and he said, are we talking about babies?
He just said that.
That's what came out of his mouth.
Mind reader.
Yeah, I was like, yes.
He felt the baby wanting energy off of you.
That's what we're talking about. And so I said, but listen, I don't want a relationship. I'm not looking for a baby daddy. I think like, quote, not looking for a baby daddy, just looking for a baby. And he said, so wait, like I can't be a part of the kid's life? And I said, listen, I mean, you can if you want to, but I'm not asking you to do that. You can be there as much or as little as you want to. I just want a baby. And like looking back at that now, it's really kind of like a selfish decision. Like financially, but
Questionable, yeah.
Questionable. I think it really stems from, that unconditional love that I no longer had. And this was my solution because in that time of my grief, I wouldn't say that I wanted to die, but I didn't feel like I had anything to live for. And I was kind of just like kind of what I said a second ago, like living not in my body. I don't know what the fuck I said, but I was this. I don't know. I was like It wasn't like watching myself live, but like it's very hard to explain.
Almost like a Sims. Like you're like, I'm going to make this decision for them next and maybe it'll turn out okay.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
You're like watching from above and just controlling your body. And
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was very much like separated from my soul, if that makes sense. So it was like, I guess kind of when you're on autopilot in simple terms, but like with really crazy choices.
Right. So what happened then? Like did you get pregnant? Did you have a baby?
I did not.
Okay.
Which now looking at it, I'm like that. Thank God. Right. And I'm still friends with this person and we can laugh about it now where I'll be like, you remember that one time when we were trying to have a baby because I thought that was what I needed? Well, thank you so much for supporting me through that, but I'm really glad that it didn't happen. And we laugh about it now. Because, yeah, I don't know. It's just something that happened. And
so, like, what did you do, though? Like, did you, like, how did that go about? Like, do you guys just, like, you went under the covers and you made this agreement, this verbal contract with each other. And then what happened? Like,
so then, like, I was taking ovulation tests. I was tracking it. Like, we were on
you were
a calendar.
Doing the whole thing.
Oh,
like, you're like expectant mom duties. I have a checklist. Like, these are the things I need to do.
All of it. We did it for about 4 months. And I wasn't getting pregnant. So then I thought something was wrong with me. I went to the doctor. Like, I went and got ultrasounds to make sure, like, everything was okay. Like, I went through this whole ass process. And turns out I'm fine. But the universe did not fucking will that for me at that time.
Yeah, it sounds like it just wasn't meant to be at that time.
Yeah, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like the people in my life, they did support me through it because I think too, it's like, how do you not support somebody through? I mean, even like there's things that happen in life that it's like, okay, like, somebody's making like a questionable decision, but like they're also like going through some fucked up shit right now. And like, how do you be like,
yeah, it's kind of hard to balance. Like, how do you support somebody like that? Because, like, maybe in your mind, or think that they are spiraling because of their grief. So how do you tell them, like, you're fucking up? Or how do you be supportive in a loving way and just be there for them and just let them fuck around and find out?
I mean, I feel like that's kind of what you have to do. And actually, so I remember I had a conversation with my mom. She had just recently come back into my life at that time. And she had come to visit me in California. Well, it turns out that one of the times that when she had come to visit me, I was also like ovulating at that time. So I was like, fuck, like my mom's visiting, but like,
I have my baby appointment.
I need to go take care of business. But like, I also had a curfew and like all this stuff. And
why'd you have a curfew?
As I was on probation. But, so we had went to fit camp to like go work out one night, and one of my friends was there from San Diego, and my mom was tired, so she was like, drop me off at the place in North County, San Diego. And I was like, okay, and then I will drive down to like San Diego proper, drop my friend off, and then I'll come back. So in my head, I'm like, and I'm also gonna stop and like do my thing. And my mom knew that I was trying to conceive a child at this time, but she was supportive, but I didn't feel like she was fully supportive. So I didn't tell her that that's what I was doing. And so, all of a sudden it's like an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes pass by, and she's like, where is she? And so I'm over at this guy's house down in San Diego proper, and she's calling my phone, and I'm like, fuck. I was like, I was almost done, but I'm like, I can't answer the phone right at this second, and then I like felt bad. So I'd like hurry up and leave, get in the car, and then I call my mom, and I'm like, hey, like I'm on my way back. And she's like, what's going on? And I was like, I stopped at my friend's house, like I'm on my way and
I'm ovulating.
pretty much. And so the next morning, we had a conversation about it, and I said, hey, like, I wasn't trying to like worry you because, like I said, we were kind of like rebuilding our relationship at that point. So she was like concerned about like what I was doing. And, I just said, I didn't share with you last night where I was going because I don't feel like you fully support me. Like, I know you say you do, but I don't feel that. And I was like tearing up, and my mom sat down on the bed next to me, and she was like, I will support you with whatever decision you make.
Oh, mommy.
Right. And so that was a big thing for me. That was like a really big thing in her and I rebuilding our relationship.
Wow.
But it's funny because when I just saw her recently over the 4th of July, and she didn't remember that conversation that way. And she's like, I don't remember what I said to you, but she's like, do you know how hard it was to support you through that?
Oh
Because
my
I
God.
knew what you were doing was not the best decision, but we had just started talking again, and I was not about to not support you and be there for you, even though I was like, for her words were like, I knew. She was like, fuck, this is not the right thing, but like, I don't know. I think that's like, I'm not a parent, so I don't know, but I imagine that's probably difficult to be like, oh, you just gotta let your kid
Yeah.
do what they're gonna do.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good thing for most relationships. Like, you give that person autonomy and they're going to do what they're going to do. And maybe you can express your opinion lovingly, or you can just support them wholeheartedly, genuinely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I feel like it goes a long way to do that, because even if you express your opinion, like, do you think something's gonna change? You know?
Yeah, especially in that mind state, because like we talked about at the very beginning of this, you were in a state of dissociation, and many people kind of are. It's like an out of body experience when you go through grief. And like, what are you supposed to do? You're not really you're not really yourself anyways right then and there. But how are you going to react to somebody closest to you saying that they don't support you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's a pretty crazy story.
And I still want a baby, but now I'm in a better mind state.
Okay.
I'm gonna wait until I can afford one on my own. I'm gonna go to the baby store.
Oh yeah.
Instead of asking a friend. I couldn't afford the baby store at that time, so it wasn't like a viable option.
Right. You're going to get the brand name baby, not the generic version.
Yeah, pretty much. So,
well, thank you so much for sharing that, because I feel like when you shared parts of that with me, and it's really cool to hear like even more like tiny little aspects of it, because I feel like we all go through that in some way or another. I don't have like the big questionable grief decision type of story, but like I've heard friends and family share stuff like that, or even been witness to it, which yeah, it's really hard to be witness to something like that. But I feel like, what is the biggest thing that you could suggest to people? Like, if you know somebody you love, a friend, family member who is going through something, a loss, grief, and you see them making those questionable decisions, like, what would you do? I feel like you're a really good person to suggest something, just because, you've been in those shoes and you're super empathetic. So what do you think that you could advise people if they notice that a loved one's doing that?
I mean, it's probably not going to be the answer people want, which would be like a solution to it, because my answer is going to be I would support them. Because what's true for me is that when that was happening, that was very much what I truly believed in my entire being, that was what I needed, and that was what was best for me. And I was in no place to hear anybody tell me what they thought was best for me, with how much like anger and sadness and everything in between that was going on. There was just no way. And so, yes, I look back at it. I'm glad that it didn't happen. But I'm also like, it's pretty badass that the people that I do, the people that were there through that, they are all still in my life.
That's amazing.
And they all supported me through it. Like, they were like, fuck yeah, baby story, let's go. And I was like, fuck yeah, baby story.
Yeah.
You know, and now we all kind of laugh about it now. We're like, whew.
I know it's different to like future trip, but like that actually is super comforting because like if that had came to fruition, like baby story would be having babysitters and aunties and like they'd have a family. So that's actually kind of support people because like
support people.
They could get through it on their own, but what if the worst or, you know, the quote unquote worst, the questionable decision actually came to fruition? Then what?
Yeah.
Cutting off a person, especially one that you love, is really hurtful and harmful.
Yeah.
And they were there for you the whole way.
The whole fucking way.
The whole fucking way.
The whole fucking way. Yep.
Riders.
Riders.
For baby story.
Yes. So.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, that's definitely one of the questionable grief decisions that I feel like it can definitely help other people too, because this kind of thing is normal. We are not in our usual headspace, and it was very real for you. That's what I heard you just say. Like, it was very real for you. It's not like in your head you were going like, I know that I'm doing this because I am grieving.
No,
like,
that's not what I thought.
Absolutely not.
I was like, I need a baby.
Yeah.
That's what I need. And I wasn't tying it to that.
No.
But I really fully believe that. And like, it's so crazy to think about. Like, it feels like when that was happening, because I mean, that was less than 2 years ago. And then I think about like how I am now, and I'm like, that's so, I feel like a totally different person. But I loved that person too.
Yeah.
You know? She was going to do shit. She was going to have a baby. She was going to be badass.
Oh, yeah, she was.
Yeah.
She had a schedule for ovulation and baby making appointment
She
times.
sure
Like, she was
did.
on it.
Yeah. So, but anyways, I share it because I want other people to know that they can share these things. You don't have to hide them in a closet away like it's some taboo thing. Like, it's normal, and we should talk about it because we're all human, like having a human experience. And I think a lot of these things get tied to shame and guilt. And I mean, if you're fucking grieving, you're already probably having enough of that. So like, let's not add more.
Exactly. Make it a little bit more of a soft landing place for people.
Yeah. So if you guys have QGDs, we would love to hear them.
Yes. If you could reach out to us on all of our social media platforms, if you want to share those moments.
Yes, feel free to comment your QGDs below.
Yes.
We'd love to hear them.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us, Story.
Absolutely.
It's definitely going to help people.
I hope so.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will see you next week.
We'll see you next week. Love you guys.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.